Hey guys, welcome to Nong MMA. Today we've got the Intergrapple hosted by Shane. He's organised this event. It's a great day. We've had loads of people from all around the UK. It's been great to see. Loads of submissions, so check it out. Follow Intergrapple, Nottingham MMA. What a day.
Come and get your wig split.
Hey, my arms were juicing on that one.
Were they?
I was like, I got it. Foot sweep, Jimmy. Pulling guard on the dart, Jimmy. A few Jimmy bits in there, a few pull bits. Competing jiu-jitsu for me, like now more than ever, it's just really fun. Like especially after MMA, it's just obviously it's different, but you're not getting punched. There's less to worry about. You're in a bad situation, tap, you're done. Yeah, I just feel a bit free to do what I want. And it's just the risk factor. You can afford to be a little bit more creative, and if worse comes to worse, you're on bottom, innit? And you just gotta, and then you can just fight from there. I think that's lacking in sub-only jiu-jitsu. Even a few matches today, you just see the high level guys cancelling each other's out. They're just not wanting to engage in fear of getting subbed. It's like, fuck it, it's just boring. It's like you want to see them, you want to see these high level guys go at each other and see these mad scrambles, and the exciting part of jiu-jitsu, you want that to come out. You don't, it's not even at the best of times the best spectator sport, so you got to make it as enjoyable as possible. Might not have been the most enjoyable match ever, but like went for a flying armbar, nice little foot trip, and I got the submission because I was willing to risk throwing it up there. And like with that dart, I thought my arms might gas and I might just be in full guard. Oh well, you know what I mean? Just you don't know if you don't try, do you?
Well done, man.
Any purple belts under 80, under 85? I'm coming. Northeast Jiu-Jitsu, daddy.
So what was the core principle behind today's session?
Making them hustle, finding different positions that are familiar positions in MMA, control positions, like especially, guard bottom with an overhook and wrist control, or neck control, butterflies with double underhooks, half guard with double underhooks, positions where they're not in the best position but they've got the tools to get them moving, and then making them use it under pressure with the person on top trying to strike. So we're doing 3 blocks again, same as we did before. Each one of these blocks represents 2 minutes. So we do 2 minutes top, 2 minutes bottom. Now last week we were just going into free sparring. But the point of the free sparring is not to rest and recover between those rounds. It's to make sure your arms are still moving. So what I'm doing this time is it'll save people tripping over one another as well. We'll do our 2 rounds, 1 top, 1 bottom, and then we go straight into this with the same partner. And I've built some real simple hand drills. At the end of each round, I'll go through them so you've got them. But the first one, so we're going guard with overhook and a single necktie. That's our first position, top and bottom. Then we go into jab, cross, hook, cross. And we go back and forth. You can do 1 each, 2 each, 3 each, I don't mind. But the purpose is, we've got 2 minutes. I just want you to keep moving your arms. Right? That's the purpose. Nice and tight with your guard, hands coming back to the right place, feet nice and stable, and I want us back and forth in the centre of the room. So we've got now plenty of space. Yeah? That is just reps to get your shoulders working between the grappling rounds. That's the purpose. Yeah? So 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 2 minutes. 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 2 minutes, and I'll be working the timer. That makes sense? And we'll do a block of 3. We'll take a minute, 90 seconds, then we'll go into the next block. And I'll explain each one of these as we go. I've just dropped in really simple combinations, like 6-punch combinations, a couple of shots to the body. And it's partly to make sure that once they're done with the grappling, they're going straight back to another energy system and using their arms and shoulders in a way that they've not been doing when they're grappling. Because if you think grappling is like isometric, gripping, squeezing and holding, and you go from that to then trying to flow with hands, and it's difficult to do. So switching the energy systems, but also giving them a set plan so they're not just doing what they favour doing, they're doing the things that I know they need to be doing combination-wise. So, you know, trying to put them on railroad tracks and make them go really hard on those railroad tracks.
So I'm thinking like, I want to close the distance fast, so I'm really going to fall in. So I do it from a bit longer range. When I think about crowding the distance fast, I like fly by and now as you're falling over myself, so I'm falling in, do you know what I mean? So crowd the hook, yeah? So same thing with this, I'm going bam, bam, bam. When that lands, this hand's high. 2 things about keeping this hand high. 1, I don't want to do this, my hand there. Yeah? So it's going to be, so I'm shooting that up. And I'm stepping my falling into it as well. Also, on the jabbing side, jab, right hand there. Looking around and seeing that. Also, how can I do my second jab? If I want to stay long, look. It's down, I can get right handed, but now I'm punching up again. Jab, look what I do with this hand. Yeah? I'll keep it, you know what I mean? So at least I'm long, and at least if you just let I can pop it. It can be like a piston. Boom, boom, boom. Not boom, boom. See the left hand? Yeah? And then, so left hand there, and then left hand when we do the boom, boom, and we land, I'm shooting this up as I'm falling, like falling into him, stepping, and closing that distance fast.
Yeah.
Yeah?
And that little fall is going to give them the impression of your level changing as well. Which means that as I see Jimmy dropping, I'm going to go, huh! And there's the uppercut right on my chin. Just a little bit to sell it. Boom!
Yeah.
You'll catch him right with the chin.
You're going to crowd that hook, you're going to sell the level change, you're going to get better reaction. Especially if you have back to its case, which is a really nice way to get someone fast. Yeah? Yeah, but make sure just on that inside blow. Piston, like a piston. Yeah? Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
You've mentioned to us and to me that you know, there's an importance in having good basics. Is that something that you're trying to systemize into this plan as well?
What we're trying to do is we're trying to find MMA basics. We're trying to find the core positions and principles that we need in MMA, and then we focus down on them in live situations. So like in the evenings when they're in with the coaches doing the technical stuff, they'll work on how to throw jabs, crosses, hooks, body shots, etc. Same thing with their escaping. They'll learn how to escape the back and how to escape mount in the evening classes, but then in the morning classes with the squad, it's got to be under pressure. They've got to be trying to escape those positions while people are trying to hit. And the reality is, Jiu-Jitsu and MMA are very different in that regard. There's lots of space in MMA usually. There's space to scramble. It's just knowing when to scramble and how to scramble safely. So that's the whole point of today.
Nice. And what? Obviously, Jimmy and Paul Lukowski have got a good relationship. Paul's from Knots MMA. What's it like watching them two get on the mats?
It's good. I mean, it's great that Paul comes down because there are very few people that can cause Jimmy issues on the floor. And obviously, Paul being a great black belt as well as being big and strong, you know, he can contest with Jimmy in the grappling ranges. And Jimmy needs something out of these sessions as well, you know. As much as he's the head coach and the general of the gym, he's not retired in himself yet, so so we still need to make sure he's getting his sessions and his work. But it also raises the bar on the mats. Every one of these guys, Hepworth's got great wrestling, Reese has got great jiu-jitsu. We're getting like Josh Hood and his scrambling abilities really coming up, and he landed a beautiful armbar today. We're seeing developments, but then someone like Jimmy or like Paul Lukowski on the mat, it just raises that standard right up. So everybody knows they've got to be on their game when they're with those guys. 10 seconds. Drop the down against the floor, the down against the wall. Finish. Paul. Time. Arms up, walking.
Every day.
Everyone was doing vicious grounding pounds. Paul was like sorting out fake legs on the floor.
Thanks, Dan. Good session. Appreciate it.
Good stuff, guys. Solid session.
So Ella, can you basically tell me what week it is and what you have planned?
So it's fight week. I'm fighting on Sunday. I'm training till about Thursday. Then gonna relax on Friday. I'm weighing in on Saturday and then fighting on Sunday. I feel fit. I feel like I've made a lot of improvements since my last fight. Obviously I lost my last fight, so it's a lot of learning from that. But yeah, I think it's gone really well. I think I've had some good rounds, some bad rounds, but some really good rounds as well, so I feel good. The biggest thing that I think I learned from the last fight was just composure. Obviously, as I've not been in there before, so it was all new, and I think I was just a bit all over the shop. So yeah, just composure, fighting smart and thinking and doing what I do best, not what I think's best, what I do best. So yeah, I think just being composed and doing what I know best, what I've practiced and what I've been training for. So
did the atmosphere of your amateur fight kind of take you by surprise? Because I mean, it was a big stage and a big crowd as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't know, obviously it was a brand new experience, and like I've been training and I've been fighting, but it's different fighting in the cage here than fighting there. I think, it was just a completely different experience, but obviously I've experienced it now and it was fresh and brand new, so I feel like I've had the taste of that, so I should feel more comfortable in there. Teaching's helping me as a fighter. I do the women's class, then I do a couple of PTs. I think it's just understanding the movements. When you do it and it comes naturally to you, you don't really think about where it can be used or like every point of every move. But when you teach it and you have to break it down, it makes a lot more sense, I guess. Recovery is really important for me. It's been like a necessity ever since I started getting it. So I have a sponsor, Kat at KK Therapy. She sorts out literally everything for me. I see her a couple of times a week. Especially throughout camp when you're just cranking it up, she just releases it, all them small niggles, the massages, looking at injuries. I've literally been injury free this whole camp basically. So yeah, it's been great, to be honest. I'm lucky obviously to be sponsored by her and her company, so.
Yep. Nice. Yeah, breathe. Let's go, right through the pads, Yeah, and again. Yep, go on, two more. Last one. Bang it. It's the same for the majority of gyms, to be honest. Usually there's one or two standout female talents in a gym, and they have to kind of make do. It's like the massive gyms like ATT where you get like a big crowd of female athletes training together. The thing is with Ella, like the way that she moves, the way that she strikes and grapples, like she's got good training partners there with these guys. They're all kind of similar weights to her, and they can push her, but also at the same time, they've got respect for her, so they'll look after her. So she's in a really good situation right now. And then obviously she's got Veronica as well, who, she teaches her how to be a little bit quicker and a little bit sharper in some ranges. And then of course Melissa comes over from time to time, and ideal training partners.
Okay, so it's Wednesday morning and a bit of a quiet one today. A few of the guys fighting upcoming weekend. So we just hit a good couple hours of drilling. Loads of wrestling flows that we've been working this week, and just some real simple striking. Just going to try and smash loads of simple stuff over the next month, try and get everyone's fundamentals up a bit, some simple flows. And that's it really, 2 hours, 2 and a bit hours, good session. I had hard cardio last night, so it's perfect for me. I'm going to hit some weights later as well, so boys are looking good. Yeah, of course, yeah, you can't do all the fancy stuff. It's good to, you know, drill the fundamentals all the time. I'm always drilling fundamentals, but just trying to be a bit more extravagant with it, as in doing even more in fundamentals, because even though I drill all the fundamentals quite a lot, some of the lads don't, so even more fundamentals, and yeah, so a bit more, especially on the wrestling, just simpler pathways and a bit more of a plan with some of the lads. Again though, just coming soon, everyone's going to be in a lot more, and I think that'll make a big difference as well, the time the guys can get in, the more coach sessions, etc. Yeah, listen man, the guys, we've got 3 guys fighting, listen, they're all tough fights, no one's got an easy fight. But the guys look good. You know, like every, you know, I can be better in areas. Everyone can be better in areas, but I believe they're prepared well. And yeah, I'm confident in them going into the fight. You know what I mean? Like I said, we've got tough fights. No, they've got tough fights. No one's got a gimme. Listen, come Monday being 3-0, which is a realistic possibility. Come Monday being 0-3, which is a realistic possibility. That's how close I think these fights are matched. Come Monday, there's going to be a few things where people are going to realise that they've got to be in a bit more across the board, and that's it. But I wouldn't be surprised if we pick up a couple of wins on Sunday. I'm hoping more. But yeah, just things are just in a process of change, and and that's good and that's exciting as well. But the guys are prepared well with what they have available, and I'm looking forward to it. Josh Hood sparred fantastic Sunday. He looks a little bit, I'm sure you don't mind me saying, he said it himself, looks a little bit rough last Wednesday. I was a little bit concerned, but Sunday he was absolutely fantastic. I was well happy with him. And perfect timing, probably the best I've seen him spar, period. So that was great, and a great confidence booster for him as well. Yeah, Ella looks good, weight's good. Jack Young again, bit of a rusty one last Wednesday, but he's been really working on a few of the problems that he had, and he looks a lot better yesterday as well. So yeah man, it's on the night, innit? Let's go do it, you know what I mean? We know where the mistakes are, we're trying to rectify them, and see if we can do it on the night. It's all on the night. You could look I've had camps where I've looked fucking fantastic for 12 weeks and fought like a sausage, and vice versa, camps where I've been injured and not sparred and got in and fucking match each fight. I didn't spar, I blew my knee out, I went in and fucking, it was a great night. You know what I mean? Yeah. MMA, it comes to the night, it's in the hands of the MMA gods, so prepared well, let's leave it there. Told you the kick was coming. Where's the train? What are you fucking doing?
I didn't time to process it.
Huh?
I didn't time to process what you're saying.
Right.
I went for another one and I like loaded my shoulder up and I just caught his elbow there. And Jimmy's like, nice body shot, yeah. I'm just looking at Riley and we both know what gets happening. He's like, I'm just going to give him it. I was trying to just mad him, you know. Walking down.
Well done, bro.
Rip to the body a bit.
Yeah, that.
I just saw like a 10-second video on his story the other day. That was slick as fuck.
Yeah.
Me and Perry had like bang out there. Yeah, you and Perry. Yeah.
Really?
I done 300 pounds, no, 400 pounds. And I went out and I went back in the form with Perry and had it out. He was terrible. Riley, Dean, Tyrell, Jack, out squat, Terry.
Are you done then?
Yeah, done that.
I mean, say mistake twice, man. Yeah, you're on the back,
Dina.
establish hooks before you start.
How your hands been today, boys?
Tiring.
Hooks and half Nelson.
I had fucking young Tom in it.
And hooks.
Never an easy
Or
round,
half
is it?
Nelson and hooks.
And I had
Or
him
you
first
got
when he
one
was
hook,
fresh.
Half Nelson, you remember that?
I'll have him third
Yeah.
next time, innit? And
Jump
put it on the
back,
little sweat.
Those punches.
Hands side two now, Tyrell. Come on, man. Tight shot. Are you tired? Are you tired?
Take his scarf off, Jack. Take his scarf. Both sides. That's it. Again. Right, there you go. Watch that right arm.
The atmosphere on a Wednesday night, it's amazing, isn't it? This is what the atmosphere is like on a Monday morning, though.
Is that what it's like?
Yeah, Monday morning's a buzzing session.
Yeah.
But then Wednesday morning isn't. But then Wednesday night is buzzing.
Because Monday morning's all like groundwork,
All your
wrestling and
shit.
stuff.
Like I say, Monday sessions are like that. Fucking hard work. But they're good. But then, you know, if Wednesday sessions was like that, Wednesday morning sessions, it'd be brilliant, wouldn't it? But Wednesday nights are like it, so that's good enough for me.
Yeah, exactly.
I can go work Wednesday now, and then come and get my fucking rounds in on the Wednesday night, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? So it makes no difference.
The danger's always doing too much though. You know, if it's like good session morning, good session evening, oh, I want to do it all.
Yeah,
And that was my
exactly.
mistake, man.
Well, I was doing that because I was doing the conditioning, I was doing the house strike, and then I was doing my rounds, and I was sparring like shit. And I dropped the conditioning off, and then I started sparring off that. You got to train smart, and of course you've got to train smart.
I'm realising that more and more. It's like you can do 50 rounds in a week, but for those shit, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I wish I'd have realised 10 years ago, innit? Instead of just hammered training and hammered bodies.
Well, I mean, that's not even your fault. Think about like all the resources online and stuff.
Yeah.
I can just Google like, oh, fucking training methodologies from Faraz Sahabi, you know, how he thinks, and I can just get that for free. Do you know what I mean? That wasn't available 10, 15 years ago.
True. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, you just do as you're told, wasn't it? Back then.
Yeah, for sure. And the mindset was like, even not just in MMA, in all sports, the mindset was a lot different, dude.
So today we've just been doing some real simple boxing combinations, just focusing on covering distance and making sure the punches are clean and crisp and fast, and also making sure that everyone's making their fists, well, properly binding their fists up when they're throwing punches, and connecting with the right knuckles depending on what punch we're doing. There you go. Nice. Good.
Now closing the door with the right hand.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're insisting on moving this way, so you're covering them, and then they're walking onto the right hand. Then you follow with the left hook. If you start with the left hook, you're just going to push me away, right?
Yeah.
So you want to stop me first. So a nice long cross. Yeah, exactly. Good. Yeah. I just find I can reach further with that, and I get more torque into my back leg.
Yeah, but longer.
Yeah. You got two options for it, yeah. Next one, nice and simple. Double jab, jab cross, hook cross. On the hook on this one, let's go turn the knuckles, let's turn the palm down and hit with those two knuckles because it makes more sense to follow the cross. Sometimes when you throw a hook and you catch him tight here, it doesn't make any sense to go cross because you're going to smother it. Right? If you watch Volkanovski, how he drops Mendes against the fence, it's literally like right close to it. It's very difficult to knock somebody out with that. So we also want a nice long option for our hook as well. Right? So we're going to go jab, 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 cross, hook, cross. No movement with the feet. All twisting with the body. Jab, 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 cross, hook, cross. Sorry, hook, cross. So we go flat with this one. Jab, cross, hook, cross. Yeah? So you feel it curving towards them. And then the cross follows. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, it just changes the range of the punch. You know, you've got to think in boxing gloves, like you'll see this with JDS, Junior Dos Santos. You can tell he spars in big gloves because when he throws his hook, he throws it and he hits with the inside of the hand. and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, we see a lot of stuff like Khabib punches underneath the chin with those front two knuckles. He knocked out Thiago Tavares with that one, and then you've got Saeed Nurmagomedov using ridge hands as well, something else that we see quite a lot. But there's loads more ways of striking with the fist, and I think like traditional martial arts, it kind of taught me all the different uses for a fist. Obviously we use hammer fists and those kind of things, but I mean, all traditional martial arts, you've got different like panther claw and eagle claw and monkey paw, and there's loads of different ways of striking with the hand. Like even if you go back to Pancrase, you'll see Bas Rutten using palm strikes really well. So just trying to bring people's awareness to the hand as a weapon and like how you use it basically. Like what knuckles I'm connecting with depending on how I'm striking the target. If I'm turning my palm down, I'm hitting with these two knuckles. If I'm hitting with my fingers stacked, my knuckles stacked, I'm hitting with the bottom three like a Wing Chun punch. So it's just a slight variation, but what I find is it depending on the range of the punch depends on how the strength of your wrist will change. Like if I want to throw a long hook, I don't want to be turning my knuckles, my wrists in and breaking that strength. I want to keep that as strong as possible. So anytime I'm connecting, I want to make sure that is a unit in itself. Whether I'm hooking or hooking, it's a block in itself. And a lot of it, for me, is down to focusing on which one of the knuckles you're particularly you're driving through. Nice, yeah, there you go. Nice. Yeah. Nice, yeah. Yeah, that's it. They've already got really good skill sets. I'm just trying to tighten a few things and refine a few things. It's a bit like a workshop for me, is how I imagine it. Same as the gym at home. This is where we kind of focus, like tweak and fine tune everything, like you would with a racing car engine. You know what I mean? Just to make sure it's revving correctly. And a lot of that is down to foot placement and balance and position of hands and making sure that the rear hand's guarding all the time, and also like understanding how to load punches as well. That's why we're starting today with that the dip off the lead leg, because guys do it all the time, but then they're not understanding how to put that dip into a punch and how it powers that shot, and options it opens up for them.